All right, the next topic is to create a geographic role by ourselves, right? So, um, first thing to do is to create a set of latitude and longitude, right, and the identifier. So, here we have store ID, right. So, I'm going to so delete all of those columns. So, now I have store ID, and for each store ID I have the latitude and longitude, okay, and we'll call this store ID geo or store geocode. How about that? So, that may be better. Store geocode. Okay. Now, I'm going to use save as, so I don't delete the original file. Okay. And okay, so here you need to save this file as a CSV file. CSV is what? Comma separated values, right? So, you need to change that to CSV file. Okay. All right. So, we have that. Let's look at the file, make sure that it's okay. So, here is the CSV file. So, comma separated values. So, if you double click, it goes to Excel, but I want to look at it. Let's open Notepad, and let's open the file, and that's the one, comma separated. So, you see here there is store geocode, the latitude and the longitude. So, these two column labels, latitude and longitude, is important. It has to be exactly that way. So, you have the code file, right. Okay. Next, you have to go to map and then to import custom geocoding. Okay. Now, when you bring in custom geocoding, Tableau will generate the code for making this into a geographic role identifier. So, this takes time, but ours, since there are only 6, it's not going to take a whole lot of time. But if you have lot of rows of locations, then this process could take some significant amount of time. So, and we have to specify the not a particular file, but a folder. Okay. So, now import. So, even for 6 locations, it's taking some time. So, that is why if you have like hundreds of locations, this is going to take significant amount of time, because it generates the codes that can then be used. You don't need longitude, latitude anymore. You can share the file across your group, and they all can use it. So now here is where the file is created. So if you go to documents, then we have my Tableau repository, right? If you go there, is that the one? No, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to let's try this and see what happens. Okay, so we have this is the original file. I'm going to do another save as, right? Let me call this public. Let me call it just public sales, right? And now I don't need this latitude and longitude anymore, because we have a geocode for store ID from the CSV file that we have created. Okay. So I'm going to close this and connect to public sales, right? So now we have store ID. Okay, so there is the geographic role. There's a new role that we have now that we just created. Okay, so if you select this as our role for store ID, the longitude and latitude will be brought in from the TDS file that we just created using import geocode, right? So even though we don't have longitude and latitude, so now if you bring in store ID has a geo role. Bring in store ID, then you will see it in the map. Even though the file does not have the Excel file does not have the longitude and the latitude, right? In the first example, we did have it because we brought it in manually. It was there, and we used that. Okay. But in the second example, this one, there is only store ID, and there is no location information in the file, and we are bringing in location information from that CSV file. Okay. So it's very easy to create the assembling the longitude and latitude. That may be time consuming, but other than that, it is very straightforward. Then once you create the TDS file, so here the TDS file is public lat long shell. So that's the let's look at the file name extensions. Okay, so there is the TDS file. TDS file has the geocode, the custom geocode information. So you can take that and share it with anybody you want, and once they save it into the local data, then that geocoding information will be available to them. Okay.